Hi, I really hope you are well during these strange weeks and taking time to just sit with yourself and process what's going on. This week, I would love to share with you a really accessible tool for you to use during this time or any time. To give healing to yourself, to send healing out into your community, into the wider community, and into the world. And that tool, very simply, is your voice. Now, in our own healing journeys, very often part of that healing journey is finding our voice. If we've grown up sort of being silenced or repressing our emotions and not speaking out and not using our voice, not singing, being self-conscious of how our voice sounds, now really is the time to just open all of that up and use your voice for this healing, for a healing tool. You may already be using your voice unconsciously. Very often we hum when we feel sort of weighed down with thought, when we feel stressed, and when we're doing tasks, we can hum, or we may, and I know I certainly do, sing in the shower. Using our voice or generating vibrations really is massively self-soothing. If you think of a cat that purrs, a cat is using its voice box, its larynx, to generate vibrations, and those vibrations wash through the cat's body. And anyone who has a cat knows that if a cat sits on your lap purring, it's usually when you actually feel quite sad, so they've come to offer that healing to you. How lovely. And we again can do this for ourselves if we use our voice for an intention, for a purpose. So rather than just absent-mindedly humming and being like, oh yeah, I'm humming, let's pair it with intention. Let's send those healing vibrations out into the world. There's so much healing to be done individually and collectively at the moment. So this is the perfect time to reconnect with your voice. Using our voices, humankind, that's one of the oldest ways that we've given healing to ourselves and others, whether it's through prayer, chanting. This is not limited, chanting is not limited to the East. Is very much Eastern thing that they do, a spiritual practice. But here in the West, I think one of the oldest known temples to mankind is in Malta, where they have these underground sort of resonance rooms, and it was used for chanting, and the vibration used to echo off the walls and go into people that were suffering from ailments as a way to heal. Sound healing is definitely nothing new or new age. It is very much a practice used by us for millennia, and using our voices now, or learning to use that to heal, is so important and necessary. Spell work as well, we are using our voice to affirmations, we're using our voice to attract things, we're using our voice to send those vibrations out into the ether, so that we are attracting these the things that we want, whether it be good luck or money or love or healing or protection. We've always done it. So the idea really is to use your voice and not worry about how it sounds. We're purely using our voice to generate these healing vibrations. Sound is energy in motion. So spoken word, a song, it can evoke an emotion, it can change the energy within our body, it can actually be quite freeing. When we're singing in the shower, and we all do it, I know I'm certainly guilty of that, it's an act of purification, because you are letting trapped energy or trapped emotions out, and at the same time purifying yourselves with water. So with these singing vibrations that we're going to be creating, using our voices is not just to heal the body, because obviously the vibration will go all through the body, it's also to heal our subtle body, so our energy body. Physiologically though, speaking, singing, humming, chanting, talking, anything that you do that creates these vibrations with your larynx is so good for us. It releases, or it lowers cortisol, so it releases stress. It makes us feel more relaxed, more calm. It stimulates the immune response. It also activates the nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, so the rest and digest. So we are processing things as we're humming. So that's why we hum when we're preoccupied, because we're kind of processing. It's an action of processing. It's innate within us. What it also does, it releases trapped emotions, and that is a huge part of healing, because if we are suppressing those emotions, we enter into a state of dis-ease. So sometimes by singing you may become emotional, or using your voice you may become emotional. You may realize that you really want to cry. Absolutely fine. Crying is healing emotion. Better out than in. Feel it to heal it. And something incredibly important that singing and chanting and humming does is it activates the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is a big nerve that runs through our bodies, all down our spine. It wanders all over the body. The word vagus comes from the Latin for wandering. And trauma is wrapped up in our nervous system. So by singing, by using that larynx, which is attached to the vagus nerve, we are sending healing vibrations through that nerve and able to release trauma. Singing together with other people can be a spiritual experience, hence why people gather to sing hymns in churches, or pray together or chant together, because you find a sense of belonging, a connection to other people. You realize that we are all one. In lots of indigenous practices, such as the Inuits, when they face each other and sing, they are connecting on this very deep level. Anglo-Saxons here in England used to have healing chants, where they used to put all these herbs together. It's called the 9 herbs charm. One of the charms that they used to do, they used to put all these herbs together, and as they applied this balm that they'd created, they would chant the chant as a kind of devotion to these herbs. It's a sacred practice. So why not include it in your own wellness practice? So how do we know that we are creating these vibrations? We all have different ranges, vocal ranges. My voice is very low, so when I sing it tends to be quite low and husky. I've got quite a husky voice. Used to be a smoker. Not anymore. Some of us have very high voices. So how do we know that we're using the right kind of range for us? Very simple exercise to do. Just put your hands on your chest cavity, just sort of above the heart here, where there is space, where the lungs fill up. And simply just create some notes. So it may be like, ah, and I can feel the vibrations literally washing down into my chest. Ah, again, I can feel the vibrations. If I go higher, ah, a bit less, ah, no vibrations at all. So I know that my range is lower. Again, this is not about how it sounds. We're not, joining a choir. You may want to join a choir to sing, but using your voice for healing or for spell work or whatever it is you want to do for affirmations, make sure you are generating those vibrations and find your range. You may, if this is very difficult for you because you don't want to be heard, or you're not used to using your voice, just do some opening up exercise, and that may be a big yawn. Speaking about it, I'm going to yawn now. A big yawn where you, and you start to exercise your voice and open up. Or it may be a big sigh. Sometimes we do those big sighs when we've got a lot on our mind. You may want to just simply exercise your voice by just doing a range of notes like we've done before. So R is a good sound, it's quite low. R. E is a good sound, you can go higher with E. R. Ah. Don't worry about how it sounds, you're just creating those vibrations. So what about an intention behind it? Well, we can do it just simply to feel good, to heal ourselves, to self-soothe, to sit with ourselves, to become open to meditation. Or we can really pair it with intention. Say, for example, I'm going to be sending healing out to anyone in my community who is feeling triggered by the current situation in the Ukraine, for example. And I may just take a moment to go inwards. And I always put my hands on my chest to begin with, so I know that I'm creating those lovely vibrations. Maybe just take a few deep breaths. And just picture what it is that you want to send healing out to. And then sing, create some notes. Say out loud, I'm sending healing to anyone in my community who is suffering at the moment. And as you start to sing or chant, put your hands out and just envision that you're sending that healing. The arms, the hands are an extension of the heart. You're opening up. That's why if you go to Anglican churches, they're all singing and praying and putting their hands up because they're sending that healing out. Same thing if you do Reiki, if you do healing, remote healing, you'll know that we send our hands out just as a sort of subconscious action of I'm sending it from the heart. Energy from one place does affect energy in another place. We know this from remote healing. Einstein himself noted the effect that energy in one place has on energy in another. He didn't know how this happened. He gave it a term called spooky action at a distance, which is really funny because science is still catching up on how energy works and how it works together. We are all one. If you send your healing voice, your healing vibrations out using sound to situations, the change may be small, but there may be a change. You may be helping someone somewhere. If we are gathering to do this, there will be a change. It's all energy. It's all intention. Your intention is your driver. So what can we sing? We can sing absolutely anything. We can do random notes. Folk songs are fantastic because folk songs, they tell stories, and sometimes you find that story that really resonates with you. If you are singing a story or a folk song and you become emotional and you want to cry, please do. Tears are nourishing to the memory of something. Tears are nourishing to us. We release cortisol, we release stress when we cry as well. So make your tears an offering of nourishment. It's okay to remember through sound, through music. Something I always like to sing when I do group work is Amazing Grace. I'm not a Christian, but I love that song. It just stirs something within us all. And I always repeat the first verse like 2 or 3 times. When I used to do this, I used to cry and sing, and that's fine. A prayer, you don't have to be religious, but a prayer is just simply a well wish, and we are putting it out into the ether by using our voices. Another little tip, which is just, it's accessible to everyone and it's a great way to self-heal. Singing and walking at the same time. Singing and chanting, chanting and walking at the same time, praying and walking at the same time. Not only will it have all of these amazing benefits from the singing side, but the walking is also where the alchemy lies, because when we're walking, we are inducing a state of bilateral stimulation, which means when both hemispheres of your brain are activated at the same time, and we're able to process stuff. We're able to go into a place where thoughts become less fixed and more fluid, and it's completely free and anyone can do it. sometimes we invest, as I said on my last video, in these sound healing tools. Don't bother. This is a sound healing tool that I use, and it's a bunch of bay, and I've hung it till it's a bit dry, and very often I'll sing and I'll create a rhythm with that. Use what's available to you. So yeah, happy singing, and I hope now you're going to be using your voice with intention. With continued practice, you are self-healing. You will find that those vibrations become louder and louder and more powerful, and then it just becomes this beautiful habit. I sing all the time. I'm sure my neighbours are completely sick of me. Maybe they enjoy it, maybe they don't. Again, don't worry what it sounds like. It's just about those healing vibrations. So thank you very much, and I would love to hear how your journey of voice activation goes. All right, see you soon. Bye.